Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. When Jesus entered Capernaum, a centurion approached him and appealed to him, saying, "Lord, my servant is lying at home paralyzed, suffering dreadfully." He said to him, "I will come and cure him." The centurion said in reply, "Lord, I am not worthy to have you enter under my roof. Only say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I too am a man subject to authority, with soldiers subject to me. And I say to one, 'Go,' and he goes, and to another, 'Come here,' and he comes. And to my slave, 'Do this,' and he does it." When Jesus heard this, he was amazed and said to those following him, "Amen, I say to you, no one in Israel have I found such faith. I say to you, many will come from the east and the west, and will recline with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at the banquet in the kingdom of heaven." The Gospel of the Lord. The prophet Isaiah tells us that there's going to be a time when they're going to beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. The weapons of war become tools to feed the hungry. It's fantastic. It is symbolic of the use of power, not for violence and not for oppression, but the use of power to be at the service of other people. The centurion shows us a lesson about the next step to that. Many people have goodwill, but to root your goodwill in God's will is something even more virtuous. And so this centurion, who has 100 men under his command, is himself a weapon of war, comes to Jesus and advocates for one of his own servants, someone who should be serving him. He is using his power to get Jesus' attention, but he does it in a humble way. So here is a commander of 100 men, and he approaches Jesus, and he calls him Lord. In other words, he gives Jesus a title whereby he himself is recognizing and letting everybody else around him know that he recognizes that Jesus actually has more power than him. That's a great way to start a prayer. And then he humbly asks, "I'm not worthy that you should come under my roof. I'm not even worthy." So it's all in humility. This man, who is literally a weapon of war, is now using his power for the sake of those who can't ask for themselves. He's using his power to get Jesus' attention, but at the same time recognizing, putting his pride aside, that he has no power if it were not for Jesus. All of us have a sphere of influence. All of us do somehow. And we can either use our sphere of influence, we can either use our power to be a medicine amongst the people we're with, or we can become a poison that could infect everybody. The centurion chose to be someone who would use his power in a medicinal way. And so the gospel today brings us with the question, what am I going to do with my power? What am I going to do with my influence? Is it going to be medicinal, or am I going to be a poison that infects my surroundings? This centurion began by saying, Lord, I'm not worthy that you should come under my roof. He saw the cure was Jesus himself, and we shall do that momentarily. Would that we leave from here letting these words that we say before receiving communion be what changes us from poison into medicine for those around us.
Regina Celi, laetare, Alleluia.